Hello everyone and welcome back to today's video. I hope you're all doing well. So today we are doing a micro home because I have not actually got around to doing a micro home yet. So I found a fun little stripy one online and thought that would be a fun little thing to do, especially as we only have 32 tiles to work with, so we are making a little base that we want to use. It's actually smaller than that because we have little like one tile deck areas that go out into the garden space, so it's a little bit smaller than 32 tiles, but it has everything that a sim would want, and it's super bright and colourful, and we're going for our red theme for this build. And we also have a shed out the back, which is kind of cheating because technically it would be like more tiles, but if the game allows it, we shall allow it. And it has a little skylight as well on our little bit that sticks out, so we can get some extra light in. And we have one of the Morphe beds in here as well because it's so small it cannot fit like anything normal in, so it was literally putting some bare essentials into this build. We also have like a three long bathroom, so we have a little bit more space. I could have done a one tile one, but I thought we'd go for like a reasonable size one, and it's already on the gallery because I actually forgot to put a load on so I was doing that today, and I have survived my first full week of doing work which has been exhausting, but getting to know everything, finding out stuff that I need to do stuff that has to be put in place and all that sort of fun stuff, and see if I can actually start doing some stuff to help as well. And the other day I not treated myself because it is a bit of a treat, but I wanted to go down when it was Storm Dennis, but obviously there's no point going to the seaside when there's a storm on. So the other day we went down to Brighton, which is always good fun. It was super windy because the wind was coming off the flipping sea, so as soon as you went down anywhere close to the seafront it was just like and getting blown over. But by the time it was the afternoon, you could actually walk down there without being swept over. The sea was super rough as well, which is always fun, like crashing against the rocks and finding a birthday card as well, which I ended up buying two because I couldn't decide, because I was like, these are two perfect cards and I'm not going to decide until closer to the time, and I can always save one for someone else. But that was good. I knew that's why I wanted to go down in the first place, because I knew that I would be able to find something good down there that's appropriate, because I didn't want anything generic like most of the card shops that you go around a place. Even in London, some of the card shops are just like so I needed to go somewhere that had a half decent selection, apart from the fact that one of my favourite shops seems to have discontinued everywhere now, so that is very upsetting because their clothes actually fit my longness. So that is disappointing, and I won't be able to buy anything from them again, which sucks, because that was like one of the last places that they actually had that shop, which is so sad. But we're now into furnishing. So we've got our little 3x1 bathroom. So we've got the toilet, we've got the Discover University shower next to the sink, so that will work in your game, especially if you've got move objects on. The Sims will be able to take a shower and use the sink, so that is all works perfect fine. There's a little window in there as well. And then we've got a nice little corridor into our main living space, which we take some good opportunities with. later on to put like a bookshelf thing and a desk as well with a computer on, and we've got the mirror as well, so we can add a few extra bits in other than just putting the Morphe bed in and just having a sofa and a TV and the kitchen, which is about everything that you can fit in here. But we're also going for some red floor tiles as well, which are the City Living like basketball floor, which goes quite well with our like red and white theme that we've got going on. So I was picking out all the red colorways in the tiny living stuff. So we've got the TV stand that has a little red drawer on it, we have the sofa that's got the red colors on it, and that was a perfect spot because the bed will go down and not smack the TV stand, but it will block the path, which I can imagine there's only going to be like 2 Sims in here anyway. And then our kitchen area, we have one countertop, we have the half fridge and a microwave on top, so you can do some extra meals and stuff. And then I put a dishwasher underneath as well, so that you can wash stuff up in there. Obviously we have a sink as well, and then we had to have some storage stuff up on the wall as well, so I did a nice plate one to finish off the end of the corner where the door is. It's a good place to pop the bin because I don't want to block like the fridge or anything. And we've got a few of the controls, and we've got a few windows as well. Also I thought it'd be nice to put some of pot plants on top of the Morphe bed to actually make it look as though you can actually pop stuff up there, because we can't use the shelf on the front, which is understandable because that comes down, but it would have been nice to put some like spaces up there so you could like put stuff, especially as I don't have a ceiling on the roof, so the roof goes all the way up. And I thought it'd be nice to have a nice fluffy rug in here. Obviously there's no dining table in this build because it's too small, so you have to sit on the sofa and eat. At first I was going to do a little book thing on the bottom shelf, but then I thought because we've got this corridor, I wanted to have like a proper book space. So we've got our desk right by the front door, which I don't think they'll be able to use the mirror because of the desk being in the way, and then we've got a computer on that, so that's sort of, as soon as you enter you can probably throw your keys on the back of the desk and do some work. And we've got a guitar as well, just because you get extra bonuses and stuff when you have a micro home. And then trying to find a shelf because I wanted a nice tall one that didn't take up too much space. The locker didn't really fit, so I was just like, just use another tiny living one with the red stuff. That fits in quite nicely. It does make that hallway like 1 tile wide, which is a little bit tight, but bless me. It's getting to that. It's not the coronavirus. We just have loads of people having the flu and stuff. And then I thought a curtain would be nice on our big open windows, just so you can block out the light and watch the TV. And have a little calendar on the wall, and then seeing if we could pop some pictures and stuff about, because we've got plain white walls, we need to brighten it up a little bit, just a tiny bit anyway. So I was trying to find some nice little things. Then out in the garden we have this big like space out the front. I thought it'd be quite nice to actually use the terrain paint to make this so it looks a little bit more natural. So we've got a nice big space here, and I put some bushes around this lot to make it sort of more enclosed. So there's different areas, there's like 3 different areas. So there's like the front bit, there's this bit where we're going to put a shed for woodworking, and we have the laundry, and we have the flower arranging as well, because you get all the like super bonuses from having a micro home. So it's the perfect home to do all sorts of skill building and stuff like that. So we have that in this area, and then I make a little separate area that's around the back of the home, which is where you can have a little garden plot and put all your flowers and produce and stuff out the back, because that'll grow super quickly as well because of it being a micro home, which is so useful. and you could probably make your own little like greenhouse out the back as well. We also have like the decoration box and the notice board as well out here, because they're the sorts of things that you find in a shed. You can kind of imagine there's some projects that they've written up on the board, and they're trying to work out what they want, and some notice little pin board as well for different ideas. Then we're putting in the laundry stuff, so we've got the little wash tub, because there's no, you could probably put a washing machine and stuff out here if you don't want to use like the wash tub, because it would fit. And we got a hamper out here as well, so all the laundry gets collected outside. We've got a little broom as well, because I always have to filter that pack just to find anything, because I can never find anything in the menu now, especially as I don't play it as much anymore, which is sad, but tis the way. So we've got our flower arranging table and our woodworking table as well, so you can make some extra stuff like bar stools, and you can make a whole dining table set for outside if you wanted to make up for the fact that I have not got a dining table in this build. And then putting some like shovels and all that sort of making stuff in here. And now I use that big like wall decoration, but I thought it'd be quite nice in there for a change. And then I wanted to put some pipes like in that corner because it fitted below the foundation, but it just wouldn't go, which is always annoying. So we've got just putting in a few plants about the place as well. But it'd be funny to have like the old bathtub that might have been in there, and they took it out because they had to save space, so they've like made it into a planter instead. We actually moved those around once I actually put in some of the other plants about the place. So we got one of the like industrial, like it's like an oil drum, a barbecue, so I thought that they might have found some of the bits and pieces about the place. We've also got like camping chairs out the back as well in the red like Univet Foxberry colours, because then they can pack them up and put them away and make it. You could also take them on different trips as well if you wanted to, because you can put those in your inventory, so they're a pretty practical item. And trying to find a space for the bike, we actually put it around the other side of the shed because nowhere else would fit the thing, because we've got the foundation, it wouldn't lean up against anything, which was sad. But you can always just drag it into your inventory if you wanted to. We've got a little lamp on the front, and we have one of the light bulb lamps as well in the shed, so you can use that any day or night. And we have our little string of fairy lights across from the house as well, which I thought was a nice little addition to our outdoor space. And now we're putting in our little I was gonna say fence bushes, but they're not fences, they're just bushes. It turns into like the French bush. So we have those lining at the sides, so that makes a little nice private square at the back. And we have a nice little open garden at the front, which you could pretend and put like a car on there or something like that and make it all paved if you wanted to. And then that also encloses the back garden a little bit more, and we put in a load of bushes and plants in here to make it look as though it's nice and fully grown. And they've like got a slightly unkept part of the garden, so we've got some grass like growing up and they haven't like mowed it, and we've got some wildflowers and stuff like that growing in there as well. And just they're making it look as though like the bathtub, like these people have been in this micro home for a while, so when they took the bathtub out, they can't get the lawnmower out to mow under the bath, so the grass has like grown up around it, which kind of fits it into the garden nicely. And putting in some sunflowers as well, just get a bit of height. So there's not actually that much variation in height in plants that I've noticed, except if you put like the Jungle Adventure ones, and I was like, why would the Jungle Adventure plants be in like Newcrest? So we need to get some like more bushes, more bushes and plants and stuff. So I know there's more in like romantic garden stuff, but I don't have that back because it was a bit meh. And then just drawing some lines for where you could do your little patch, your garden patch out the back, and there's a little like mud trail so you can use it as like a back exit way. And that is it for our little build. It's not not a very long build at all, but we'll jump into some screenshots so we can see a few bits in more detail, but there's not actually that much to look at. So this is our kitchen, and the other way down the hallway our outside space and our shed. So I hope you enjoyed this build. If you did, feel free to give it a like, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye.